Thank you for joining us for Grim Advice with Gretta Myers. You've entered the grimoire. Let's turn the page together. Without further ado, the Three Spinners. There was once a girl who was idle and would not spin, and let her mother try as she might, she could not bring her to do it. At last the mother was so overcome with anger and impatience that she beat her, on which the girl began to weep loudly. Now at this very moment the queen drove by, and when she heard the weeping, she stopped her carriage, went into the house, and asked the mother why she was beating her daughter so that the cries could be heard out on the road. Then the woman was ashamed to reveal the laziness of her daughter, and said, I cannot get her to quit spinning. She insists on spinning forever and ever, and I am poor and cannot procure the flax. Then answered the queen, There is nothing that I like better than the sound of spinning, and I am never happier than when the wheels are humming. Let me have your daughter with me in the palace. I have flax enough, and there she shall spin as much as she likes. The mother was heartily satisfied with this, and the queen took the girl with her. When they had arrived at the palace, she led her up into 3 rooms which were filled from the bottom to the top with the finest flax. Now spin me this flax, said she, and when you have done it, you shall have my eldest son for a husband, even if you are poor. I do not care about that, for you are an industrious worker. The girl was secretly terrified, for she could not have spun the flax, no, not if she had lived till she was 300 years old, and had sat at it every day from morning till night. And when she was alone, she began to weep, and sat thus for 3 days without moving a finger. On the 3rd day came the queen, and when she saw that nothing had been spun yet, she was surprised, but the girl excused herself by saying that she had not been able to begin because of her great distress at leaving her mother's house. The queen was satisfied with this, but said when she was going away, Tomorrow you must begin to work. When the girl was alone again, she did not know what to do, and in her distress she went to the window. Then she saw 3 women coming towards her, the first of whom had a broad flat foot, the second had such a great underlip that it hung down over her chin, and the third had a broad thumb. They remained standing before the window, looked up, and asked the girl what was amiss with her. She complained of her trouble, and when they offered her their help, and said, If you will invite us to the wedding, not be ashamed of us, and will call us your aunts, and likewise will place us at your table, we will spin up the flax for you, and that in a very short time. With all my heart, she replied, Come in again. With all my heart, she replied, Come in and begin the work at once. Then she let in the 3 strange women and cleared a place in the first room, where they seated themselves and began the spinning. The one drew the thread and trod the wheel. The other wetted the thread. The third twisted it and struck the table with her finger. And as often as she struck it, a skein of thread fell to the ground that was spun in the finest manner possible. The girl concealed the 3 spinners from the queen, and showed her, whenever she came, the great quantity of spun thread, until the latter could not praise her enough. When the first room was empty, she went to the second, and at last to the third, and that too was quickly cleared. When the 3 women took leave, and said to the girl, Do not forget what you have promised, it will make your fortune. When the maiden showed the queen the empty rooms and the great heap of yarn, she gave orders for the wedding, and the bridegroom rejoiced that he was to have such a clever and industrious wife, and praised her mightily. I have 3 aunts, said the girl, and as they have been very kind to me, I should not like to forget them in my good fortune. Allow me to invite them to the wedding, and let them sit with us at table. The queen and the bridegroom said, Why should we not allow that? Therefore, when the feast began, the 3 women entered in strange apparel, and the bride said, Welcome, dear aunts. Ah, said the bridegroom, however did you get such odious friends? He went to the one with the broad flat foot, and said, How do you come by such a broad foot? By treading, she answered, by treading. Then the bridegroom went to the second, and said, How do you come by your falling lip? By licking, she answered, by licking. Then he asked the third, How do you come by your broad thumb? By twisting the thread, she answered, by twisting the thread. At this the king's son was alarmed, and said, Neither now nor ever shall my beautiful bride touch a spinning wheel. And thus she got rid of the hateful flax spinning. First, okay. I know it's weird that the queen's problem is that the cries of the beating could be heard. Again, presentism. Don't judge the time for what it was. They didn't know a lot about mental stability and health, and how being beaten doesn't aid that. Also, the queen's like, I don't care that you're poor, you work hard. Like, go queen. Except for the fact that she doesn't work hard. Except for that, it would be awesome. It's just like, you work hard, you can marry my son. Pretty dope. Okay, and then, like, the guy's an idiot. He's just like, your aunts are ugly. How did you get such, like, ugly friends? And, like, bro, what if they'd been family? She called them aunts. Like, come on, man. Dude, not cool. I'm like, why is she still marrying him? Oh, right, she's poor and he's a prince. Also, like, can we talk about, the girl is not very smart and she doesn't work very hard, but she seems to have it decently with people. I mean, she actually invited the aunts and was, like, really kind to them. When she could be like, yo, you ugly, why you stand below my window? No, she didn't do that. She was pretty cool about it. And then she invited them and was not ashamed of them. And it was pretty, wow, yeah. So, she might not necessarily have been the smartest brick in the bunch. That didn't make sense. She might not have been the smartest French fry in the container, but she didn't appear to be rude. So, let that be a lesson to you there. That if you know for a fact that you're not smart and you don't do things, at least be nice to people. Okay, what are my notes here? Okay, first the mom lied and was like, I can't get her to stop spinning. And then, like, later the girl lied a lot. I was like, yeah, I totally spun this by myself. Yeah, I didn't start work because I was sad at leaving my mom's house, who beat me. Moving on. Okay. Don't. So they both lied, and this lie just became bigger and bigger until you kind of can't believe her luck at the end, that it just worked out that like there's little way that this could unravel. Let me tell you something. When you get caught up in a lie, 9 times out of 10, you will be caught in it, and it will end badly. But Greta, no buts. You want to know why? Because when you get away with that one little or crazy lie that just, and it spirals out of control, but it works out okay for the time being. It can always come back years later to bite you. It builds a safety net of false security. But guess what? The net is made out of string cheese. Bear with me on this one. And it will only hold up for so long, and then you'll fall. And you'll smell like cheese. The point is that if you don't get caught up in one lie... No. The point is that if you get caught up in one lie, or rather don't, that you don't get caught in it, but you get caught up in it, it builds a habit of lies, because you're like, oh, it worked out that one time, it should be fine. And you just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you will get caught eventually. Trust me on this one. Trust the universe on this one. You will get caught. Maybe not till you're dead, and then some ghost comes to beat you because it's like, I know for a fact you lied to me when I was alive. I don't know. It's just it'll come back to bite you. Let me tell you. And so, because if you keep lying, while lying, in your string cheese safety net of false security, you are taking a machete to it. You're just like, nah, yeah, sure, I'll lie one more time. It can't hurt. There's plenty of cheese here. And then there won't be plenty of cheese. And you will fall. And it is up to you to decide how hard you fall. Why? Because you gotta come down sometime. So you could tell the truth and let yourself down, and maybe the people, if your lie didn't hurt them that badly, will like lend you a safe like a ladder made out of pretzels. I don't know. And you can come down safely from your falling apart safety net of string cheese. That is complete false security. And it might suck, or you might just be able to like kind of rappel down. I don't know. This metaphor is all over the place. So you'll come down on your own terms, and it might suck, and it might hurt, and you might fall, but it'll be on your own terms, and it will probably hurt less than and I mean, you'll probably still smell like cheese. But if you stay long enough or take a machete to it, I mean, one, you're caught unawares, but like, man, so just, generally tell the truth. It's just safer that way, and it might, and it might hurt at the time, and it might not be fun. I mean, obviously, you can, like, if someone's like, again, be nice about it. That's like, if someone's like, does this make me look fat? And it does. Don't be like, yeah, you look like a cow. No, be nice about it. Be like, that's not your greatest outfit. Maybe try something else. Just don't be mean, because that will also come back to bite you. But it'll be nicer. It will be nicer in the long run than being stuck in a safety net of false security made out of string cheese. Man, I gotta stop doing these videos when I'm hungry. This has been Grim Advice with Gretta Myers. This is a happily ever after, and what? Yeah, okay. It's been brought to my attention. That. Okay, it might seem hypocritical that I said all the things that I did up here in the script. And A, don't be too shocked when I point this out, because B, Gretta Myers is not my real name. And you might be wondering, how is this different from lying? You literally just told us not to lie. And I'm like, hold on. Is willing suspension of disbelief. I told you in the introduction that I am wholly committed to the idea of telling you a story. I mean, look, I got a cloak. And I mean, when you go to see a play or a movie, you don't expect the actor's name to be Achilles, and you don't expect Sherlock Holmes's real name to be whatever it is. And so I am an actor playing a role created by the director, who's also me. So full disclosure, it's not my real name. I am acting. Gretta Myers is the name of the character. So it's not lying. Okay, back to this has been Grim Advice with Gretta Myers, and thank you for joining us for this happily ever after, or not so happily ever after. That's up to you. Either way, this is the end for this episode, so tune in later to learn more, and we can turn a new page together.